we'll record the meeting so that we can share it with everybody else. So we are at a conference here in Florida, so the annual Cross-Cultural Management Symposium. And so the kids are here as well, and I see Oleg and I see Evgeny. So we will try to keep it short because we have a presentation to attend. And so just wanted to devote a little time to the meeting. Advay, good to see you. I was wondering why you didn't join today. You haven't missed any meeting before, so good to see you guys. Advay, can you hear us? Advay, do you have?
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, so I guess it's all the old people, so whom we know and met before. So we will get right to business. As I said a minute ago, we are at a conference, and I have a couple of presentations to attend. So I'll have to move quickly, and so we'll keep it short today. Let me give you a very quick preview of where we are, or overview of where we are, and then go a little bit about or over the tasks that we have for this weekend or week. So far the project goes well. We have some kids who do extremely well, like for example, Advay, great job, Danielle, great job. Evgeny, I see your performance is very good. And then we have a few kids who do so-so, but the kids who do so-so are primarily the kids who actually didn't do well on the readiness test, and we put them in co-located teams. So remember, we had kids who did not so well on the test, and we still allow them to participate, but we put them in teams where they would be members in the teams with other people from their own country. And so it looks like some of those, it was a good call. It seems like they need a little bit more preparation. So they're still training, they're still trying to do their best. But I'm glad that they were not placed on international teaching because they need a little bit more work. But they will probably be very ready next semester and will do a great job. And then we have about 2/3, maybe even a little bit more of the kids who do extremely well. And I'm very happy for them. And so actually, in fact, quite impressive. Some of them do better than some of the university students. Now, this week's task, as you remember, we have 2 challenges, and each challenge has 3 blocks, and each block has, what, 2-3 questions? Something like that, right? So who can remind me what do we do this weekend? What is the task this week? Anyone can tell me? What was the task this week?
What, the trophy?
That was last week. So what do we do this week? Anyone can remind me? Danielle, it seems like you know the answer. Can you hear me? Do you guys have the sound? Can you hear me? Oh. Can you hear me? It seems like it's not working. Yes, you can hear me, right? Advay.
I can.
Yeah, okay. So Advay, Danielle, Michelle, Nelson, Sophia, do you guys know what the task is for this week? Come on, guys. Haven't you completed it by now? Well, this week you have to submit the initial answers to your questions as individually. So this week you have to, so it seems like Evgeny is also at some sort of a meeting. So this week you have to go through all of the questions and think about them yourself, not consult with the team yet, or maybe even if you consult, that's okay. You still have to try to answer them individually. And so the goal is to prompt you to think about each question individually before you discuss them as a team. I have read your team charters, and I remember that most of you have decided that each student, each team member does a different section. Like for example, Sophia, you're responsible for marketing, right? Maxim, you're responsible for marketing as well. And so the worry is that if those kids are responsible for a specific section, they will not contribute at all to the discussion of the other questions. And so to prompt them to be ready for that discussion, to get ready for that discussion, we want you to answer them individually. And so I just wanted to go very quickly over each of the questions in each of the challenge, 5 minutes. And let's take a quick look and let's see if you already have some answers so far. So let me just get the challenges. And I will share the screen with you so you can see them. And let's do maybe InnoSpark first. I have it, and let me share the screen. So share screen.
Vasil,
Yes. Yes.
for all the time we've been here, our audio's been turned off, so we haven't heard any.
Aha, so you don't hear me.
I hear you right now, but we didn't hear you before when you were explaining over the mic.
Ah, that's why you were not answering the questions. Okay. Well, as I said, we at the conference and the internet is not so good. So then if you didn't hear me, tell me please, what is the assignment for this weekend?
But we didn't hear you, so...
You did hear me. All right. Okay. Well, let me open the challenge and let's take a quick look at what's due this week. So we have InnoSpark. Let's go with that one as first. Do you see the InnoSpark challenge on your screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's take a quick look at the questions and let's see if you can give me quick answers. So for the first block, for InnoSpark, you have to analyze the competition. So did any of you looked at who the customers might be for InnoSpark? Can you describe the customers? Who is in InnoSpark? Nothing you want to try? Get closer to the microphone.
So I think the customers for InnoSpark would be either schools and daycares, like companies that have much money, or rich families that have enough money to buy the more expensive toys.
And have a big house to place them, right? Because it's a bigger toy. Adve, you're also working on InnoSpark. Do you have any ideas for who the customers might be?
Yeah, mostly it's daycare people, and it would be, yeah, what Maxim said, that's basically it.
Good. How about competition? Oh, Danielle, I think one of you is on that, on that team, right? Either of you are doing InnoSpark?
No, we're both doing finished schools.
Okay, good. So how about competitors? Have you thought about who else makes toys for InnoSpark, similar to InnoSpark? Adve, have you did your research? Have you done your research yet?
Yeah, I have. I found they're like really unique, and they have a different ideas for toys. So I found Toys R Us sells toys like InnoSpark does.
Yeah, Toys R Us, yeah, they went out of business 2 weeks ago, so literally. So they went bankrupt a couple of weeks ago. So literally now.
They went bankrupt a couple years ago, but
They went
small stores.
Right. But yeah, so they probably not a competitor anymore. But yeah, good research. So for this question, you would go online and try to find similar toys and see who makes them. And then looking at the product, have you thought about how they can improve their toys? Maybe make some new toys, maybe make something different? Anyone? So that's something that will require some thinking. So how about, Adve, you have some suggestions? Please go ahead.
Yeah, I was doing some research, and the delivery time is pretty long for them. So and their toys, I surveyed a few people. They said it's fine in euros, but when you convert it to rupees or some other currency, it's kind of expensive. So they should give some discounts. Like for Easter, there should be some discounts. I surveyed some people. Like,
that is an idea. Yeah. So, and that's very good that you did the survey. It's a good idea to talk to a few people and get a sense of what potential customers think about it. Jasmine Raj, I see you are in a car too, so that's one commitment. Good to see you. We are at a conference. You're in a car, but nobody's missing the meeting. Very good. Very good.
Thank you.
All right. So then best market, have you thought about where, Spark should sell their toys? What country? Anyone?
I thought that they should sell them in richer countries that have like bigger daycares and that have like richer families that can afford the toys and
So
that has a need for them.
So a higher income level? How about you, Adve?
I did some research, and I asked some of my friends. So they say Japan is going to be a really good idea because it's a developed country and it's growing. So if you sell toys there would be much demand for them.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah. Other countries could be just about any rich country that has a good culture of education, right? So Japan seems like a good choice. Yeah, to me, it seems like just about any European country as well as North America, like Canada, the United States. Now, in terms of promotion channels, have you thought where you would advertise toys like that? Remember, you have to think about a way to advertise it without spending too much money. So on TV, it may be too expensive. So any other ways to advertise it?
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're ready.
I think a good way to advertise it would be to share it directly with the schools because
How would you reach the schools?
through, I'm not sure, through maybe newspaper or mail.
Mail. Yeah, that's a good idea. Direct mailing, right? So you can go online, find the addresses of the daycares and schools, and send letters directly to them. That's an idea, or emails perhaps. Advay, did you have any suggestions?
I think that I had an option for TV because TV is watched by adults and children, so it would be easy for them. Or you can just do some workshops because that would actually give a bit of promotion.
That's an interesting idea. For an expensive product like this, you may have to do a workshop to explain what it is. My only worry, again, both of you keep in mind the cost. It's a small company. They may not be able to afford to spend a lot of money on advertisement, so it has to stay lean. And then ad design, you have to think about what your advertisement might look like. So for example, if Maxim says maybe send direct mail, maybe you think about what that mail should say, what it might look like. And then if you would like to, for example, I don't know, place an ad, you said it like professional magazine for teachers. Again, think about what it might look like. But that's basically what you have to submit this week. And so you would say only a few words. You have the best market, you just put one word, just Japan. If you say advertising, you say newsletters or direct mailing or whatever you want to say. So the whole answer should not be more than half a page, 1 page maybe, 2 pages if you really want to say a lot. All right, so we are done with this one. Let's take a look at the other one and see what's due for the other one today. So do we have any people here who are doing Finnish Schools International?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's see how prepared you are. And we have Sophia on the other end here. Very nice. Let's share the screen and go to Finnish Schools International. So do you see the Finnish Schools International Challenge?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very nice. Let's go here. So section 1, you have to design your dream school. So explain how schools that you go to is different or similar to schools in Finland. And as you know, schools in Finland, they focus on play, on teamwork, on fun, right? And so how your school is different, is your school like that or is it different? And then if you had to design a school from scratch, how your school would be different. So who wants to describe quickly your own school and maybe tell us a little bit about how it's different from the schools in Finland? And then if you have any ideas for your dream school. Anyone? Yes, go ahead. So Danielle, is that you, right?
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I go to Lenata Bay Elementary in Palos Verdes. It's a really good school. I think that they almost teach exactly the same in Finland as they do in Lenata Bay. My teacher always tries to make learning fun.
Lucky you. Okay, very nice. How about others? Describe your school. Is it a lot of fun and teamwork and projects and education?
No.
What do you mean, no?
That's not my school.
You can tell. Yeah, go ahead. Tell about your schools.
In America, public schools focus more on preparing you for the tests that they prepare you more for the test than actual life and learning the materials. The whole curriculum is based on preparing you for the test that you will take at the end of the year.
So you do a lot of drills, but not many projects?
No.
Interesting. How about you guys? Who else is here? Justin Raj, how is your school? Can you describe us quickly your school?
Our pattern of the school in which I study, Air Force Barbati School, is not the same as Finland, as we don't focus on much fun in here.
Okay.
And we don't have much projects in our school.
So it sounds a little bit more like an American school then. Michelle, did you have something to say?
Yes. The school maybe preparing us for the tests. That's true. But I'm pretty sure most schools in America have this field trips.
Yes.
Where you go on a trip somewhere. We just had a really fun one.
Yeah, field trips, that's true. Somebody's missing. Maxim school went on a field trip and he went to Florida instead. So Advay, how is your school? Can you describe quickly your school?
Yeah. So my school is actually a prep school, so it prepares you to go to other senior schools.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like we have field trips and all, but it's more focused on studies because it's like preparing you to go to another
Right,
school.
right. So a lot of exercise and drilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you need that too. But anyway, if you have any ideas for your dream school, like if you could design a school from scratch and make it your absolutely best ideal school, what would it be like?
It'd be like an experiential school, like you would learn
Experiential? Yeah, nice. Okay, so
Like-
how would it work?
like when you were learning a topic that you would actually like spend some time
Like if it's a physics law, you make a rocket and you shoot it in the sky using that law, that rule, is that what you're saying? And if it's mathematics, you actually go to a bank and do some calculations with money rather than just on paper, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an idea. How about you guys or girls? What is your dream school like? Michelle, I guess you wanted to say?
Yeah. My dream school, well, my school's already really good. I just have them like, kind of focus on study more and improve the cafeteria food and
Okay.
give more lunch to the cafeteria.
Well, that's a thought. Yep. Perfect. Yeah.
Yes. Just upgrade,
Upgrade. Okay, wonderful. How about you, Advay? What is your dream school like?
My dream school would be that we would have some more field trips and there would be equal focus on sports.
And sports.
And
Okay,
yeah.
that's a good idea. Yeah, exercise is important.
Mhm.
Justin, Raj, how about you? What would you recommend for your dream school?
Okay, I would recommend it like if we could focus on more sports, and if we had more field trips to museums and places where children could learn enjoying.
Yeah, that's very nice. Again, all of you talked about field trips. You have to remember that they cost money, right? So it's a good idea, but again, you have to keep in mind that sometimes going on a field trip every day may be a little too costly. And so, right, the students pay for it, but not everybody's parents can pay for a field trip every day, right? So that's a wonderful idea. So, but again, you have to act not only as students, but also think as businessmen, right? So if I had to open this school, how would it function? And I love your ideas: more sports, more exercise, more field trips, more discussions, more fun. All of that is good. Just keep in mind that to make it happen, you have to have like a bigger strategy and a budget. And so keep it kind of realistic, but also go wild as far as you want, in terms of the design, in terms of the market. So where a school like this would function best? Where do you think parents would be willing to send their children to the school of your dream? What countries did you have in mind? Yes, Danielle? Yes.
Sweden or America?
Good idea. Why in America?
I think because a lot of parents in America just want people to have fun and learn. So, but at the same time, so we could it would, and they don't really care public school or not.
Right,
So we
right.
could just send them.
Yes, it's a good idea. Very good, Danielle. You're right. In America, there is a culture of sending kids to private schools, and so parents are used to paying for schools and probably would be okay with that as long as the quality is good. It is also a rich country, so many people will be able to afford a private school. And then at the same time, the public schools here sometimes are not as good as parents expect them to. So there would be a demand for a better type of school. So America, but I think for that reason also maybe Canada would be a good choice, right? Yeah. Any other countries where schools of your dreams would be in a high demand?
I think same places that Innispark Toys, countries that are interested in education and
Good point. Yeah, I guess interested in education and can afford it. Yeah, that's very good.
same things.
Yeah. Any other ideas for the countries and locations?
I think this type of schools can be also effective even in Eastern and the Central Europe. So we see some demand and some popularity of this type of school, even in Ukraine.
That's a good point. We have friends who started the company called Kid IT. So it's basically, like after school. And they are growing like crazy, very, very. So a lot of demand. It's not free, but there is a lot of demand. People in Ukraine definitely recognize the importance of education. That's a very good point. Oh, Justin, Raj, do you think there would be a lot of demand for a school of your dream in India?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? How about
Yeah.
the United Kingdom, Advay?
Yeah.
Yeah, because in UK it's like a competition. It's a lot of competition between kids, so parents would definitely want schools like these.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Good point. All right, marketing. So how would you advertise a school like that? How would you inform the parents that there is a better school and they should send their kids to that school? Yes, Advay, please go ahead.
So I'm telling about UK. So since we have prep schools, so suppose finished schools can go to prep schools and say that we have a vacancy for students. So that's going to be easy for them.
Yeah, that's a good idea. What else? How else can you advertise a school?
You could, like Maxim said, newspapers,
Like send it to parents or send it to
parents,
newsletters,
and the school.
maybe social media, right? So you can advertise it on Facebook. It's cheap, and you can always select the demographics, and you can select that, for example, send this or show this ad only to people who have children ages, let's say 8 or 7 and 15, right? Or whatever the age group you deal with. And then you can say, private finished school, better education for your kids. And you can select what country you advertise to. So that might be an idea. Or I really like the idea that Michelle gave. So send newsletters. Sending by mail would be too expensive, right? So if you wanted to send 1 million of those, it will cost too much money. But if you send them by email, it doesn't cost that much, right? And so what you can do is you can, for example, place an ad online saying that take a quick test and see if your kid needs a better school. And the parents could answer a few questions, and you will say, to see the results, provide your contact information. And then they would provide the contact information, and then you would find more information about the school. That seems like
It's just,
spam.
yeah.
Okay, well, whatever you want. So any other thoughts? Adbay, how would you advertise your dream school?
I just said that. I actually just said that.
Okay.
I told you first.
All right. Okay. Justin, Raj, how about you?
I would like to advertise it on YouTube and television, and I would like it to be like this: at the parents who want to send their children to a school which will help their children to learn in a better way, and the children will enjoy it.
Right.
Then they should send it into the finished school
That is a smart
like
idea.
this.
Very smart idea. People react better to video than to text. And
Yeah.
so you can have like a little promo video, of children playing maybe, so parents probably will like it more. The only thing I would say, YouTube is
Yeah.
probably a very good idea. They allow you to target the demographics that you need. TV may be too expensive, but again, might be a good idea to consider. So, but all of those are good ideas, yes. So then, yes, this weekend you still have 2 days to do it. All you have to do is just describe the idea that you described here. So just basically put it on paper and tell us what you think so far. And then starting next week, you will have to go as a team and answer them block by block. So a week from now, you will have to submit as a team your ideas for the first block. So whichever challenge you work on, it's a slightly different block. And then a week after, a second block of questions, and then the third block. And that's basically how it goes. But it seems to me that those of you here in the meeting are already very well prepared. And so you have some good ideas, just put them on paper, and that's all we need at this time. All right, any questions? Yes, go ahead, Jasmine, yes.
Okay, I wanted to say that there is a member in our team. I don't know his name, remember his name, but he's not communicating with us, and and if you ask some questions to him, he's not communicating. Like, we are sending emails to him regularly, but he is not responding to them.
Right.
Jasmine,
Yeah.
Evgeny told me that Vlad, Vlad's the name of that kid. He didn't have any internet, I think. Or no
Internet
network,
issues.
something like that.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
Michelle says that he communicated with her and said that there are some internet issues. But here is what I have to say about that. This is not unusual. Unfortunately, when we work in teams, and it doesn't even matter if it's global virtual teams where you communicate online or if it's a team where you sit all in the same room, unfortunately, and you will learn it soon, there will be always somebody on the team who is not pulling his weight, who's not doing his work or her work. The problem here is that, as I said, some people are not as hardworking as you are. Some people may not be as committed, as responsible, as diligent, and so that happens all the time. And so one of the ideas or one of the purposes for this project is to allow you to experience this situation. And I guarantee you that pretty much every team will have somebody who is not working hard. And so what you have to do here is, one, keep sending reminders to that person, keep them updated. So hopefully if it's an internet issue, hopefully they will solve it and will be online next week. Maybe they're traveling, or maybe they have a spring break, or maybe they have some other, maybe they got sick. So hopefully they will come back. If they will not come back, it's always a good idea to have a contingency plan. So it's always a good idea to plan, okay, if we don't hear from this person for another week, maybe we should redistribute the workload and finish it in a smaller team, because it seems like we cannot rely on this person. And then importantly, please make sure to give, if somebody is not doing any work, make sure to give them low peer evaluations. You know the rule. If somebody gets a peer evaluation below 2.0, 2.0, we will send that person a warning and we'll assign a coach, and hopefully the coach will be able to help this person. But if nothing helps, we will have to kick that person out of your team, basically out of the project. And maybe even we'll see if we can replace that person with somebody else. We have a few people on the waiting list. So try your best, but this is life. I mean, this is, part of being in a team. I wish everybody was as diligent as Advay, Michelle, Danielle, or Jason Raj, Sophia, Maxim. But the truth is that, no, sometimes people are like that. So it's a hard, kind of difficult lesson in life, but I've worked so many, times on teams, and every single time there would be somebody who's not doing their work. We call those people free riders. So they want to get a free ride. They want to do all the work, and they get a free ride, and then in the end get a certificate. And, that's bad, but, it happens all the time. We'll have to learn how to deal with them. Any other questions?
No.
All right. So Advait, yes, please go ahead.
I did this week's survey and I put the work, but whenever I try to upload the file, it says it's not compatible. So I tried PDF and Word, but it still didn't work.
Email it to me. So if you just email it to me, I will add it to the catalog. So no worries. Okay. Between us, and don't tell it the other 100 kids, this file is not for me, it's more for you. Meaning that I will not grade it. I will look through it, obviously. But it's more to make sure that every kid has some ideas and did some research and comes prepared to the next week's discussion with the team. And so, as I said, for you, I'm not too worried. I know you probably have done your research, and I know that you already told me your answers. So if it doesn't work, just submit without the file and maybe email me the file. No worries about that. I'm worried more about the kids whom I don't meet every week. And so I just want to make sure that they are on a track to finish the project on time. All right. Okay. So then, let's talk some more next week. We will be back home by that time. So, and I guess we'll go to another presentation. We met some astronauts here. So some people who have been in space, right? So Captain Scott. So wonderful. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'll see you guys in a week then. Good luck with your survey and stay on track. Thank you.
Okay.